Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a Figma review of Sword Art Online's main hero, Kirito, specifically in his Gun Gale Online avatar seen during the Phantom Bullet arc of SAO2. First, a little context for those out of the loop. This is indeed a boy who's supposed to look like a girl. Why, you ask? Because anime. Anyways, the Figma team have done an excellent job at recreating Kirito's GGO avatar in figure form. The body proportions seem correct and the costume has been faithfully represented down to the smallest of details. In fact, those small details are probably the best feature about this toy. Instead of just being painted on textures over lightly sculpted surfaces, every piece seems to be its own separate layer of material. From the bootstraps to the belt and even the patch on the shoulder, they all have a bold and somewhat embossed texture to them. It's fantastic. The colors are mostly dark on this figure. Still, despite being very subtle, I like how two different shades of dark gray were used between the main suit and the waistcoat. It keeps things interesting. The small areas picked out with paint are clean, and the gray lining throughout the costume pops. My only concern is the color of the elbow joints. The all-black look is fine, I suppose, but I would have rather they matched them to the color of the arms. As for the head sculpt, it definitely evokes, as it should, a female Kirito. The face is spot on and the hair has a long, natural shape to it that's fitting of the character. Other expressions included are a leftward staring, shouting face for combat, and a flustered expression for those classic Kirito moments. Also, there's an alternate hairpiece with a more dynamic shape to it for those windy day displays. Overall, this is a great looking Figma. It's just not one that stands out. It's dark and simple and not much else. Then again, that is Kirito's MO. For size, this Figma stands at the 5¼ inch mark. That's exactly the same height as Shinon, as well as the previous Kirito Figma. Kirito's head is on a Figma joint, so you get a good up and down, side to side's pretty good, and there's some decent tilting going on. If you're wondering about this hair, it's actually these end pieces here, like all these bang pieces that go all the way around his head. These are actually just really soft plastic, and that's really nice because there's actually a hidden joint right here for the second piece of the hair, and this just naturally flexes up with it. You can sort of move this side to side a bit. If you hold this too long, this will stay in an upright position, but a little bit of heat will turn that back down, so it's okay. For the torso, all you have is this mid-torso Figma joint that you can roll in almost any direction, and it's great. This piece here, despite looking like some tough plastic, is actually just a soft, flimsy material. Flimsy is the wrong word, but it's more soft, and it'll conform to all your posing needs. What I do like is that the forward crunch is a lot stronger than the back crunch. The arms are pretty simple. They're connected by a barbell joint. Range is pretty decent all around. I wish they were telescopic because they're not. I just feel like sword-wielding characters usually have that type of benefit to it. There's a bicep swivel, single joint at the elbow, and then a Figma joint at the wrist with the swivel. And if you're wondering, these shoulder pieces here, these are just soft plastic, and they're actually connected all together in one piece on the back right here. When it comes to the waist, we'll start at the back side, and these two waistcoat pieces are just on their own separate joints, and they actually don't get in the way at all. They kind of stay out of the way for the most part when you're handling the legs. The hips themselves are connected on ball joints, so they go upwards or forwards and outwards. They are connected together on a T bar inside there, so they kind of rock together with one another. There is a thigh cut hidden right at this strap here, which you can use. When you lift up the waistcoat, they do reveal these giant knee joints, which are kind of ugly to look at, but they do offer you a pretty great bend. That does look kind of strange at the front, though. Moving lower, the top of the boot is actually a swivel point that you can swivel, and then a Figma joint finishes things off right at the ankle. Articulation is great, and I was surprised by how unintrusive the waistcoat was. Telescopic shoulders would have put this figure over the top. The Figma bag, display stand, and hand rack with open palms and generic gripping hands make up the first half of the included accessories. From here, there's Kirito's signature Photon Blade and his sidearm, the 5.7 pistol, along with matching trigger fingers to wield it. Both are relatively simple in appearance and get the job done. Both also have their own effect parts. The pistol uses the same muzzle flash found with Figma Shinon, while the Photon Blade has a huge fan-like plastic piece that emulates a swinging motion. For storage purposes, the gun easily slips into its holster on Kirito's back, while the hilt of the Photon Blade can clip onto his waist. Finally, Kirito includes this very specific display hand. I actually don't know what it represents, but to me, it looks like he's using the Force. Figma Kirito Gun Gale Online version is exactly what it looks like. Another fine anime figure produced by GoodSmile to add to the ranks of your Sword Art Online collection. There's a lot of excellent visual detail and quality here, though its overall presentation isn't what I would describe as being hugely striking. Again, Kirito's MO is dark and simple, so in that respect, this figure has the look nailed. Feature set and playability is really where this Figma shines. Articulation is great with few hindrances, and there's a wide variety of posing options with both the gun and sword. As a toy, GGO Kirito is great, and if you're just after any Kirito figure, this certainly is a fine one to have. Though for me personally, I've never been too keen on the GGO avatar, and still prefer the original Figma Kirito to it. For my money, Figma Shinon is more than enough of a Gun Gale Online representative on my shelf. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I think GGO Kirito is bad, it's more that he's just, well, boring. And looking back, this is probably a figure I could have lived without. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and when Sword Art Online coverage returns, we'll fly to the place where fairies dance.